Alright everybody, well, welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel. And we are at Indianapolis Raceway Park, Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Yeah, something like that. Always got to say the sponsor name. But yeah, we're here and we're racing in the Indy 800. Yeah, hopefully we can bring home the win in this thing. Which, if there's a lot of you watching this, that's exactly what we did. All right, well, they already have the 78 out front of the whole field. Is that where we're gonna stay?
I don't know. You've kind of disappointed me lately.
Wow.
Yeah, you need to do better.
Who forgot the stickers?
Nobody? They're on there. Who made it happen? Me.
You made it happen.
Who unmade it happen first and then made it happen? Me.
So what we're talking about is we've got some help from WireCare to get up here this weekend. And if you guys have watched some of our previous videos, you know that we get a ton of all of our wiring stuff from WireCare, whether it be wire, Deutsch connectors, heat shrink tubing. Just go check out their website, wirecare.com. If you're new to Deutsch connectors, it's a hard word to say fast. They have an awesome assembler that you can use to assemble all the pieces you need to make complete Deutsch connector kits. And they have the really good ones too that aren't the, there's cheap Deutsch connectors and there's good Deutsch connectors, and they keep the good high quality ones. And you guys should know with electrical stuff, you don't want to mess around. But anyway, we're here, we're getting ready to qualify. And anyway, Eddie forgot our WireCare stickers at home, but he did call a local sticker shop, made it happen. Yeah. We had hats, which Eddie's not much of a hat guy, but I'm a big hat guy. And obviously, we don't have our WireCare hats on, but we will make that happen in a future video. They're cool hats. They're really cool hats. But I guess they're spinning me around for getting ready for qualifying. They just stole my car. So my group is me, Jim York, Jack Stan, Clay Milliken, and Kai Kelly. And it's funny because some of the guys on the crew said that they put me out front so that I could show some of the other guys in my group the line, which is cool. I take that as a pretty big compliment. And I've actually taken a few guys around the track on a golf cart. Clay, Victor, talked to Weston about different things, talked to Jim York about some different things for helping them, you know, get to where they're acclimated to the racetrack and can go have some fun. So, you know, kind of proud of that. They come ask me for advice, which is really cool. But anyways, enough jibber jabbering. In about 30 minutes, I will be in the car making some qualifying laps. Well, I think I missed the monster truck show, but it's about time for qualifying. Woo! They did donuts right there and almost hit the wall. There's the Biff. We got the Biff talking to Clay right there. We got Tom Bailey. All kinds of big name people in this deal. My goal for tonight is to be in the conversation at the end of the race. That's my goal. And if I can pull off another win, even better. But there's some good drivers. Yeah, a lot of good drivers in this event. And I just don't know if I can do it. But we're dang sure going to try. So time to shoot up for qualifying. All right, well, qualifying is over. Second to Tony Stewart. Just barely. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. So Tony and I were the only... I messed it up. Only two in the 29s. 29.932 for me, 29.864. Tony was just showing off. Like, he sent it so deep into turn one, it was just something to watch. So I'm sure he's going to come back to the field quick, and I'm going to try to hang with him and keep him honest. But we'll see what happens. I'm still in disbelief I'm getting to do this with the people I'm getting to do it with. It's just freaking awesome. So, all right, well, time for me to get settled in and see what we can do. All right, y'all. Well, they inverted the field, so it's me and Tony Stewart back here at the back. We got Brad DeBerty in front of us, Biffle, Jim York, Jack Stan. I mean, we're dead last. So here's what it is. It's just starting to sprinkle. Don't know if you can see the drops on the dash. That's gonna make things interesting for sure. But you know, we'll see what we can do, And Eddie's got my camera started. So hopefully the GoPros will last to the end of the race. They don't always do that. Batteries sometimes don't last. So we waited till the very last second to get them started up. See, we got one there, and the other one is over there. I think the Freedom Factory forgot to start theirs. That's for the behind the scenes stuff for the smoke show. But anyways, I gotta get my glove on and go do some racing. Appreciate all you guys watching, following along. Let's go win this thing.
And we are just moments away from taking the green. Pace car getting ready to head towards the infield. And on the front row, Weston Champlin and Kai Kelly will lead the field of 21 Crown Victorias to green. 80 laps around Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Here they come out of turn number 4. Fans on their feet. And the green flag is out, and we are underway in the Indy 800 presented by Heatwave Visual, and they are 4, 5, 6 wide down into turn number 1.
And that was R3, went down the bottom and absolutely put a giant gap on the field. Stewart sat back as you'd expect him to. Cleetus is all the way at the back of the field with Stewart.
Weston Champlin did not get the start that he was looking for there, and it really stacked up the rest of the field. There's still 4 wide coming down into 3. Kevin Smith all the way down at the bottom of the racetrack. He is quickly working his way up near the top 10. Lap number 1 is going to be... in the field will work their way around the top side of turns 3 and 4.
How aggressive does Kevin Smith get to try to push on Ty, to push on DeBerti, to maybe force a mistake?
I have a feeling we're going to see 3 wide for the lead coming down here into turn number 1, as Kevin Smith is going to be glued to the back bumper of Ty Braun. Braun's going to launch early and is going to catch Kevin Smith napping, and that's going to allow J.H. Diesel actually to jump to the outside. He could be moving up into the 3rd spot, as Cleetus and several others down on the bottom of the racetrack, making it 3 wide through the middle of turns 1 and 2. We'll see if they can straighten it out down the backstretch as you see them fan out and jockey for position as we head down to 3. Here goes DeBerti looking low for the lead.
DeBerti's looking low for the lead, and Stewart is going to get around the inside of Champlin if Clay Millican can give him some racing room.
88 of J.H. Diesel got the momentum wound up there on the outside. He's going to try to get around the 78 of Kevin Smith. Braun able to maintain the race lead as the front 2 cars get single file. It's 2 by 2 and then a little bit of 3 wide action. And don't look now, here comes the 69 of Jack Stan Jimmy. It wasn't long ago we saw him down in the pit lane and thought his night could potentially be over. He's back there battling with Tony Stewart and Zach Walker near the back end of the top. So the field getting ready to go back to green, and more importantly, they've got to get Walker back out on track. He could lose a lap here quickly. Green flag coming back out, Ty Braun, and Brad DeBerti made contact. I think.
Oh, look at this, J.H. way on the outside.
I think the 88 of J.H. Diesel was all over the back bumper of the 70 of DeBerti and might have kind of lifted him off the ground a little bit. And here comes J.H. Diesel on the outside, looking for the race lead down the back straightaway with 66 laps to go. Very early on in this one, J.H., the former Freedom 500 champion, looking to take the race lead here at IRP. And as they come out of turn number 4, he is going to take that top spot away. Braun is going to go back to 2nd, and here comes KSR, Kevin Smith, battling for 3rd with the 70 of Brad DeBerti.
Champlin trying to give Stewart a push into the first turn. It got him a little sideways, but he hung with it. And Champlin is just riding the bumper of smoke out there as they head out of turn 2.
Perfect example right there of the different lines that you can run here at IRP. Braun.
Tony just blew his out. I think so. I think he just hit his nitrous while he was idling. No, I think Tony's just blew up.
Running as quickly as he can.
Going to take the wheel of the purple piston eater down there as he climbs in. They have already sprayed the number on, and the field has taken off again.
So the green flag is out. Tony is going to be hoping for a yellow very quickly here as he could potentially fall a lap down.
By the looks of it, he might get it. We go into this turn on a wet track 3 wide. It's not going to last long.
Here they go down the back straightaway. Braun with the advantage for the time being, but the horns are out front now as Brad DeBerti leads the field. Let's see. A lot slicker down there in 3 and 4 than it was the last time they were under green, but everybody's so far able to make it through, and unfortunately for Stewart, he is going to fall a lap down to the field. He'll try to get that car back out there as quickly as he can. He should be able, if he can get going here, he could challenge Zach Walker for that lucky dog. And anytime there is a yellow, whoever the highest running car lap down is, you're eligible for that lucky dog. So Stewart's day is certainly not over. A lot can still happen here in these remaining 50-plus laps. But right now, new leader Brad.
Milliken is doing us proud, though. Clay Milliken is doing all drag racing fans worldwide very proud tonight.
And remember, Clay was one of the kind of late entrants to this race. Wasn't on, I think, our initial list of drivers.
You know why? Because they were scared. Clearly, they were scared.
You drag racers.
It was a conspiracy to keep us down. The man.
Man. It's just fun having personalities like Clay in this. I mean, it's perfect. When we were trying to figure out who could be that a driver, a local driver that could potentially jump in, Clay, while he originally hailing from Tennessee, but
local
so many drivers in this area from the NHRA world, and I happen to feel there's probably some guys that are maybe shooting some text messages around right now saying, see what Clay's doing? All right, ready to go back to green. We have 38 laps complete, 42 to go. We're just shy of halfway. Green flag is back out. DeBerti leads Ty Braun down into turn number 1. Clay Milliken down to the bottom, trying to hold off Cleetus and Kevin Smith and try to maintain that third spot.
2 cars trying to be in a space that will only fit 1, and now they're basically 3 wide as Biffle made a big move.
Milliken pinched the 78 of Smith up into the outside wall. That could have been disastrous up at the front of the field, but both drivers able to continue on. Here comes Ty Braun again to try to take the lead. Milliken sideways coming off the 4.
Got a little push there. Look at this. Biffle goes down underneath. Cleetus going into the first turn. This is a very aggressive approach, and he's never going to be able to hold that line.
Biffle has to back out of it, but he's holding strong. Head down there on the bottom, but here comes Cleetus and Kevin Smith. Big momentum, big contact into the outside wall.
Jimmy again.
Jack Stand Jimmy has hit the outside wall hard on the back straightaway, and the right front of that car is absolutely destroyed.
Remember that scene in Terminator 2 where like half his face got ripped off?
And we're just right at the halfway point. We're just 1 lap away. AJ's going to show him the green flag, and when they come by next time, he'll show them the cross flags and let him know that we are halfway home. How about LS George jumping to the outside, trying to get 2 for the price of 1? Contact Kevin Smith and Weston Champlin. Yeah, they are bouncing off each other as Kevin Smith has fallen back. He's having some trouble with the right front after that contact he made with the outside wall when he was battling with Clay Milliken.
For about half a second on that restart, Milliken thought he was going to do something crazy, and he thought better of it. And now he's just about worked his way to second place, and he and DeBerti are side by side.
Clay Milliken down to the inside. Here comes Cleetus. Right on the back bumper of the number 70 of Brad DeBerti. Things getting hairy.
Here we go. Cleetus is into the wall down there, and there comes DeBerti, and Milliken got into each other.
Contact, and around goes Kevin Smith. We've got a big stack up down there in turns 1 and 2. Tony Stewart is involved.
Tom Bailey involved, as well as Smith. It doesn't look like terminal damage for any of them.
Stewart looks like he's definitely going to be able to roll on and continue on, as is the 57 of Tom Bailey. But there was a lot going on down there. As you could see, things kind of stacked up at the front of the field, and you kind of have that accordion type effect, and it worked its way back through the field. As let's take a look at this replay here, Brian. Watch up front here.
Yeah, Milliken and DeBerti first.
Starts there, second and third.
Look at that.
Then Cleetus nearly gets into the outside wall. And then you've got Bailey getting into the 78. LS George got a little bit of it. And, man, Stewart is lucky he didn't get in worse shape than where he was right there. That could have been bad.
DeBerti and Milliken saving this is awesome. Watch this. Ready? Milliken. Actually, it was DeBerti's car rotated first, and Milliken caught his front left fender.
Man, listen. When guys have to try to straighten things out at 300 miles an hour, I think you're pretty good at.
Yellow, and he's going to head to the pit. I believe he's going to be asking
right front.
Tire. And refactory crew is going to quickly go to work on that right front. Is Kevin, I think when he made that contact with this man on the outside wall. So they're going to pull that back out, get him a new Ditto tire, and Kevin should be able to go back and rejoin the field. But he's going to be deep in the field, and we're right at the halfway point. And you know what? There's 2 things happening here. This guy is smart enough to realize a couple things. He actually got the wall right up to as we talked about the tire on this thing, if he knows that it's going to chew the tire up, he knows he's going to have a little additional life and maybe a fighting chance with a fresh tire on that thing.
Fresh sticker tire, as they
I
say.
mean, yeah, he's already in this thing with a bunch of wheels, and he knows that could be a thing.
They're going back green? Holy crap, that sucks.
This is right here. This is why you get the subscription right here. Look at that thermal cam there, and you can see the tires are flowing. As you can see where the racetrack. There are 2 people using the thermal cam tonight. Us and the CIA. That's how rare this is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a great job from the drone as always. Birdie's windshield was very hot because of the windshield wiper friction that has been generated. They're waving off start here as they're going to
Thanks, guys.
The Spark had gone to the pit area, but they decided to wave this start off. So the Birdie and Braun up on the front row. Looks like KSR is going to
Evergreen Speedway, while a little bit smaller of a configuration than this track, very similar built as far as the banking and the way the track sets up. So Biffle, I think, feeling right at home here at IRP.
Ty's been forced down in this lower line, and Biffle's kind of holding him there. And each time he goes into that turn at that low line, he is scrubbing a lot of tire off that thing. Biffle maintains, as he has for the last 7 or 8 laps now, that outside higher line around the racetrack.
I'd be curious to see if Braun decides to kind of back off and try to mimic that line that Biffle is running, to see if Biffle can't go low and maybe Braun can try to slide up there.
Yeah, turn the tables on the guy, force him.
Some of these cautions and some of these melees, Greg has really pounced and he's worked his way up through the field there, and now he controls the pace of this race.
What once looked like a lost cause for Kevin Smith is starting to develop itself into a competitive race car. And this is the type of guy that if the front end of that car was tweaked, it was going to take him 5 to 8, maybe 10 laps to get it figured out. He clearly does. He has worked his way through the field, and he's passing LS George, but he's got a long way to go to get to Stewart in the lead cars. And pulling off the racetrack right now, the number 44.
What does... It'll be DeBerti to the bottom, Biffle on the outside, Kevin Smith and Ty Braun in row number 2.
Of the 3 challengers, who's the most dangerous? DeBerti, Smith, or Ty? Of the 3 racers that have Biffle surrounded on 3 sides.
Smith is not afraid to send it, and we saw earlier this year he was very aggressive at the end of the race to try to win the Freedom 500. Got together with Corey LaJoie on the last lap, and which was able to get Travis Pastrana to go on to win. But we're ready to go back to green. AJ shows them the green flag with 21 laps to go in this one. Biffle gets a pretty good restart. They fan out 4 wide deep in the field as the top 7 are able to get away. And Biffle's going to have the momentum and a good run off of turn number 2, but DeBerdy's not going anywhere as they are going to able to get out in front by about 2 car lengths over the 78 of Kevin Smith.
Oh, man, DeBerdy's down low coming into 3 and 4, and Smith is going to run the outside line, forcing Braun down low. Braun's into his left rear.
See if Kevin Smith can carry the momentum down the front straightaway here and try to challenge the number 70 of DeBerdy, as Smith is putting that right rear tire right up on the outside wall. You saw Tony Stewart run that line earlier. Car off the pace is L.S. George.
He killed the right front. It's acting like it.
Last year at the New England 900, filling in for Brad DeBerdy, who was unable to be there. And Biffle has become really good friends with Cleetus and kind of an unofficial member of the gang or the crew now, especially after the week they just had at Talladega.
Big credit to Kevin Smith, because at any moment in the last couple of laps, Smith could have given DeBerdy a push that would have totally upset that car, and he hasn't done it yet. Not saying he won't, but he hasn't done it yet.
I think this is where you've got to be smart and know that even though there's only 15 to go, there's a very good chance that we're going to have another restart. And right on cue, Cameron Johnson and the number 22 has gone around, but it looks like we're going to remain green for the time being. You've got to be smart enough to know that you're not going to win the race right here. You're going to have an opportunity at another restart before this is over.
York killed the right front. He's doomed in there.
Well, we expected that based off of the announcements they had at the drivers meeting earlier, and Kevin Smith has turned the wick up as he is to the inside of DeBerdy. As we watch on the Heatwave visual replay, you'll see the contact between Johnson and Zach Walker. Walker was able to continue on. Johnson got the worst of it, gathered it back up, and we remain under green flag condition for the time being as Biffle coming by the line. He has opened up the race lead as Kyle for the Boosted Boys, is coming into the pits. He's got a right front tire down. Biffle's advantage over Kevin Smith that time by 0.7 of a second. He increased it by about 0.3 that last time. We'll see what kind of lap he's able to put down here, and if Kevin Smith is charging or if Greg Biffle's just kind of out there riding and trying to bring it home.
Another right front victim rolling into the pit area for a right front tire now. You can see him getting waved in there. That is Boosted Boys Kyle, as now they head across 1 and 2. Watch the setup here for turns 1 and 2, as you can watch Smith set that car in, and that's where he's making time on DeBerdy. DeBerdy cannot follow him into that corner and catch him.
Work going on down in the pit area on the right front of Kyle from the Boosted Boys, number 24 machine. And Greg Biffle, as we check back there, you see the 57 of Tom Bailey being passed by the 22 of Cameron Johnson, who's recovered from that spin. No change up front. Greg Biffle continues to show the way, but where that lead was 0.7 of a second, it's now shrunk to 0.5 of a second as Kevin Smith continues to be about 1/10 of a second faster every lap.
Ties way down below. DeBerdy almost got into him there. Row right now. I see Smith sitting there, and of course I see the Biffmeister sitting next to him. What does the strategy have to be for Smith? Now he's at the bottom of the racetrack.
Smith has got to be aggressive. He's got to try to be willing to send it into the corner that much more than Biffle. He's got to try to find a way to ease in front of Biffle, and he's got to hope and pray that Biffle leaves him enough room, but I don't see that happening.
Can he pass Biffle under a green flag, or is this his final chance to get the job done?
I think as we're now inside of 10 laps to go, I don't think this is the last restart you're going to see. Green flag back out. Smith down low. Biffle to the outside. We'll see if they make any contact. It's going to be Smith out in front by a nose, but here comes Biffle on the outside with a good run coming out of 2.
Carrying the speed again.
I love what I see out of Kevin Smith, though, on the bottom. Can he make it stick?
Man.
Will he put the car of Biffle up into the outside wall? So far, they keep it off of each other, but now Kevin Smith takes the lead with 6 to go.
Oh, boy, there he is. Smith's up into the right side, left side of Biffle's car. They made contact coming into the corner. Smith's car came up high, but Biffle was able to maintain his momentum.
Kevin Smith, the winningest driver in these Cleetus Crown Vic events. He's won this event before. He's won a Freedom 500. He won the inaugural New England 900 last year. He's won Danger Ranger events, and he's trying to become the first ever winner, two-time winner of the Indy 800. And so far, he has got 5 laps to go to try to hold hold off a future NASCAR Hall of Famer, and Greg Biffle crossing him over down to the bottom.
He is crossing over. You can see, oh, he's got a little contact. He's into the rear fender there. He's able to drive around him.
Bumper tag coming out of turn number 2. Kevin Smith had an epic battle years ago with fellow NASCAR driver Kurt Busch. There you see Biffle and Smith leaning on each other, and here comes Brad DeBerti into the mix. We could be 3 wide for the race lead coming to the line.
They now touch door handles as they go down the front straightaway. It is now going to be Biffle on the inside and Smith on the outside.
This one is far from over. It's anybody's race. Ty Braun is back in the mix as well. Biffle able to secure the race lead once again. He slides up in front of the 78 of Kevin Smith. Smith charges once again here on the inside. Can't make it work. Biffle continues to hold on. They'll be coming to the line. This time, 3 laps to go. Greg Biffle continuing to try to hold off Kevin Smith.
DeBerti is like a kid in junior high trying to sit with the cool kids at a lunch table and being denied repeatedly. Let me at the table.
He's got to love what he's seeing, though, because these drivers are driving so aggressive. If something happens, he's in the catbird seat, but running out of time. 2.5 laps to go. Down the back straightaway, it's Biffle, it's Smith. They pull away by about 4 car lengths over DeBerti. Braun back in 4th, and Victor Alvarez has moved back up into the top 5. They're coming to the line. 2 laps to go. AJ showing them here at the line. Biffle out in front by a car length.
They now enter turns 1 and 2, and Biffle has complete control of this situation here. DeBerti is so far back, I think he may be out of time. We're looking at a 2-horse race, just like last year. Turns 3 and 4 could be decisive.
Biffle and Smith want to see this thing stay green. They'll come to the line this time by and see the white flag. Kevin Smith gets down to the inside. He's up to the door handle of Greg Biffle as they come out of turn number 4, leaning on each other as they see the white flag. The crowd on his feet here at IRP.
Biffle's going to have to catch him if he wants to win this race. Smith carries a ton of speed into the corner. They're both begin to slide in, and Biffle's trying to get his nose underneath him.
Biffle going to look to try to go to the bottom of the racetrack, but Kevin Smith with the preferred line on the outside. Biffle's going to get one more shot at him. We saw what happened last year between Stewart and Walker. Here goes Greg Biffle down to the bottom of the racetrack. Is it going to be too little too late? Out of turn number 4. The 78, Kevin Smith is a 2-time winner of the Indy 800. He wins here at IRP.
A masterful job by Smith and a great show they put on tonight with Biffle. That was as clean and as hard a racing as we've ever seen at this event.
That is exactly how you want to draw it up if you are Kevin Smith, and the celebration is on here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park.
You can see his head bobbing around in the cockpit. Remember, it was a year ago. He was super disappointed with that early exit.
Well, we just had one incredible fireworks display. You could hear the grandstand, feel the grandstands vibrating and shaking. And there you see the man who has become a 2-time winner of the Indy 800 presented by Heatwave Visual. That, of course, the driver, the number 78, Kevin Smith from KSR. His 6th win in Cleetus racing competition. Now 2 wins here at Indy, a former Freedom 500 winner, 1 last year at Stafford, and he's got 2 Danger Ranger wins under his belt as well, as Kevin is one of the most decorated drivers in the field. We're going to send it down trackside to Cleetus McFarland with our winner, Kevin Smith.
Kevin, come here, brother. Come here. Let's hear it for Kevin Smith. Brother, not only did you win a 1,200 horsepower LS from Wagner Automotive, you got a freaking Indy 800 trophy, your 2nd one. How do you feel?
This is amazing. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, because I feel like that's the best race we've put on. Like, the racing was awesome. We gave each other a lot of respect out there. Me and Greg used each other up a lot those last few laps, but hey, I brought home the win. I'm still pretty much speechless, but here we are.
What'd you guys think of those last few laps with Kevin battling with Greg Biffle? Dude, you guys did. You drove clean. It was so fun to watch. Here's the Biff. How you doing, Biff?
I'm doing good. I'd be better if I was holding that.
What do you guys think? Hey, let's hear it for Greg Biff, too. Oh, man, you guys were battling, but it was such clean racing. The crossovers, the slides. It was so cool, man. And what are you gonna do with that 1,200 horsepower Wagner LS?
It hasn't sank in yet. Like, I'm talking to Eddie on the radio, and I'm like screaming, holy crap, I won the thing. And then we get all the way back up here, and I'm like, oh, I won the motor too. Oh, gosh. So it's awesome. I got to get a big shout out to WireCare for helping me get here this weekend. So if you guys need wiring supplies, buy some stuff from them. But yeah, this is absolutely awesome racing. This is a dream come true for me. Watched a lot of these guys like Greg and Tony, and a lot of these guys that are huge stars outside of our group here. And being able to race with them is just a dream come true for me.
Hey, brother, we're proud of you. Let's hear it one more time for Kevin Smith, KSR. Make some noise.
All right, everybody. Well, that wraps up my edit for the 2025 Indy 800. And you probably saw that I just used a lot of Freedom Plus's footage for the last bit of the race there. After my cameras went dead, that's pretty much all I had. Eddie was too busy spotting for me, so he didn't have time to video. Although he did send me some clips, when we were down in when we were down there celebrating on the trackside, but I forgot to put them in the video. Too late for that now. That'll just be for our memories. Anyway, I'm actually headed out to dinner right now with my girlfriend. She's driving. I'm not driving. You guys can tell I'm in the passenger seat. But I wanted to leave all that footage in there just because it's awesome. Like, it's still sinking in that I won the thing. And that battle with Greg Biffle was by far the best wheel-to-wheel, swapping back and forth racing that I've ever done. I've had a lot of fun in the past road racing, but we haven't ever had that close of wheel-to-wheel racing for the win. So I'm still fired up. It's still sinking in. The engine hasn't got to me yet, so we'll film a video when that shows up and then give you an idea of what we plan to do with the engine. So I'm gonna need your input on some different options. So thank you again for watching, subscribing, following along. See you guys in the next one.